Konica Minolta. Okay, right. Let's see what we can do with this piece of Konica Minolta shit. Right, this one's going to be a difficult one. I don't think it's going to have much colour in it. We'll see how we go with it. This one's going to be like a full 400%. 400%. Just going to go. This is going to be a small original, but it's going to be a challenge trying to position it on the glass the way. Oh, fuck me dead. What's happening? Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. Cancel. Fuck. We didn't set the paper. Close that. I'm going to set the paper. So you got to set the paper tray before you do stuff like that. That could confuse a lot of users. These are not easy features to navigate. Well, it looks. I prefer the old info line series copiers. This is like the next stage called info palette, but this is a different to the info palette again, but it's much the same. But I still prefer the info line because the info line had a series of tabs, and the tabs kept things a lot more tidier than this. This is messy. This is very messy, and I sometimes accidentally scroll it across when I just don't when I hit the button to when I accidentally do that. Whatever. It's not an easy kind of system to learn. I mean, but they're all photocopiers. Difficult to learn. The featuring is pretty well identical to the featuring on previous models like the info line. So they haven't changed anything to make it more exciting. They've just changed the feel, the shape of things, the shape of the hardware. Everything's different except the features, which really sucks. But then the features cause feature clashes, and they should be, really, these features should be removed. But no, we need features. We need a machine that's artificially intelligent that can bring some of these features together in a more orderly fashion. And the machine can, there still has to be some room for people like me who love to play with these machines, but these features shouldn't be incorporated in the whatever, the hardware. I don't know. This kind of this featuring should be left out. And if you want, you can have features downloaded from the internet. If you pay for the features that you want, you don't pay for this if you're a person who doesn't use this shit. But if you want features, you just pay a little bit extra, not much, and just get a download or something. And then, of course, you get your value for money because it'll cater for more users. The average office user, this is what we're using, the average office worker wouldn't want those features ordinarily. But a person like me does. So we set the basic system has to be without those features, without all those fancy features. It has to be a very simple system, like the kind of system you would have found in the 80s. Maybe even the 80s, they were starting to get complicated. But if we could have simple features without all this high-tech wizardry, high-tech, is it really that high-tech? But basically, if we could have minimal features for the average user, that looks good. If we could have minimal features for the average user, pay for the features that you want. Konica Minolta must not put them in as standard because these features don't get used very often, and more often than not, they cause confusion. All these features just clutter up the screen. And why pay for these extra programs that are in the machine? Why pay extra for stuff you're not going to use, which is what you're doing here? I mean, shit. Normal people don't want all this stuff when they're in an office. How many times have I fucking repeated myself? But anyway, that looks good. But basically, those features should be something you can download off the internet. And if the internet interface can be made simple enough, but then a nerd and a geek could probably get around it as it is. But basically, it's hard to describe. I'm having troubles trying to convey what I mean. It's very complicated. But basically, it'd be nice if in a nutshell, we'll just say the features are an option but you can buy as a download it to your copier off the internet, off the Konica Minolta page, and then pay for them. But if you're just a normal user who doesn't want all this fancy shit, Konica Minolta should not put it in the first place. It is a waste of money, a waste of time, it's shit. So Konica Minolta, get your finger out of your fucking butt and do something about it.